Good evening, everyone. I'm Akash Lopinder. It's good having you back with us. The compendium of financial bills passed in the House of Assembly last week has crossed another hurdle. They're on to the Governor General for assent, having been given the green light in the Senate today. The bills are aimed at helping the Bahamas meet the requirements to exit the gray list of the Financial Action Task Force. Among the proposed pieces, the contentious nonprofit organizations amendment bill. Leading off the government's contribution, Attorney General Carl Bethel says the bill seeks to clear up the misconception that the government is going after the collection plate.
Nothing is further from the truth. The government is not interested in the collection plate at all. All that we want to know is that the collection plate is being accounted for, and we don't want to know how that is for the members. Organizations that have annual general meetings that approve or reject financial statements or records of their organization are carved out. But we're not interested in the details of the church's accounts. We're not interested in anything to do with that.
Now, the opposition has made it known that it supports the compendium of bills. Senator Clay Sweeting reminding that the initial bill didn't get the PLP's approval because the government failed to consult religious and civil society organizations before actually passing.
This is what happens when the proper parties are not consulted before enacting legislation. The legislation ends up being shelved only to be brought back to this place a second time in 6 months. However, I am glad that the government had the fortitude to meet with the necessary parties to at least come to some sort of common ground before enacting this bill.
Among the bills passed are the Anti-Terrorism Amendment Bill, the International Obligation, Economic and Ancillary Measures Bill, the Investment Funds Bill, and the Registered Beneficial Ownership Bill. Foxhole Day fast approaching, but the committee has already been hit with an expense it wasn't expecting. According to Senator Fred Mitchell, BPL has issued a $46,000 outstanding bill. Now, according to Mr. Mitchell, the former MP for the area, BPL negotiated with the committee to pay only $26,000, but this still left him peeved about the situation.
It has always been the position of all governments, and this was so under the last F&M administration, the present administration. Those lights were provided as a public service to the community. I mean, I can't imagine when the Junkanoo Rush took place here that the BPL sent a bill to the government. I mean, that just seems outrageous on the face of it.
Now, JCN reached out to BPL for comment. Its public relations director, Quincy Parker, told us the company could not respond until presented with further proof of the matter. Tens of thousands of people apparently on board with the Stop Disney online petition against the multi-million-dollar development proposed for Lighthouse Point in South Eleuthera. The petition pulling in more than 31,000 signatures at last count, 20,000 of whom signed within just 12 days after it went public on July 15th. Local environmentalists contend that Lighthouse Point is not where an environmentally responsible corporation would choose to construct a massive private cruise port. The groups suggesting Disney work with local groups on a win-win alternative that will protect the site and secure sustainable economic opportunities for the communities in South Eleuthera. Sky Bahamas to take flight again after being grounded due to several deficiencies. Aviation Minister Dionisio Diagler at the time advised the airline CEO, Captain Randy Butler, to sit and talk with the Bahamas Civil Aviation Authority to have the issue resolved, while Captain Butler did just that. Captain Butler shared some advice of his own that the BCA ensure capable persons are employed. The Sky Bahamas CEO also at the time renewed his call for the aviation industry to be reformed, citing that as far back as 1992, the Ingram administration called for Bahamians to get involved in servicing domestic routes while Bahamas Air take on international destinations. Well, today he said it seems Bahamas Air is putting smaller airlines out of business. Former Transport Minister Glenys Hannah Martin had something to say about that. When private airlines, she said, began receiving licenses, it opened a new model for the industry, and that maybe then the need for Bahamas Air should have changed. Former Tourism Minister Obi Bolshcom recently shared a similar sentiment with us, noting that the government should look for a partner for Bahamas Air and use it as the airline to bring tourists to Grand Bahama and allow smaller airlines to service the Family Islands. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.